Racially biased officers detained a black grandmother, Regina Harris, in front of her two grandchildren at an airport, not realizing they had made a monumental mistake. The aftermath of their actions would bring unforeseen consequences. Make sure to subscribe for more stories like this and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Regina adjusted her sun hat, her warm smile lighting up her face as she guided her two grandchildren, Olivia and Ethan, through the sliding glass doors of the bustling airport. The children's excited voices filled the air, their enthusiasm infectious. It had been months since Regina had taken a break from her demanding role as a federal judge. This vacation was her opportunity to reconnect with her grandchildren and immerse herself in the joys of family life. She treasured these rare moments, cherishing the laughter and the innocent curiosity that reminded her of the beauty of childhood. Dragging their colorful suitcases behind them, the trio approached the check-in counter. Olivia, ever the inquisitive one, gazed up at the large screens displaying flight information, while Ethan clutched his backpack tightly, his eyes filled with wonder at the sights and sounds of the airport. Regina leaned down and asked with a smile, "What's the first thing we're doing when we land?" "Swimming," Olivia exclaimed, jumping with excitement. "And then ice cream, right, Grandma?" Ethan added eagerly. Regina's heart swelled with affection. "That's right," she replied, giving them both a warm smile. These small, joyful exchanges were what she lived for, and she was determined to make this vacation unforgettable. At the check-in desk, a young woman greeted them with a professional but somewhat reserved smile. "Good afternoon. Where are you headed today?" "To the Caribbean," Regina answered, her tone calm and professional. It was a habit she had developed over years in the courtroom. The agent's eyes shifted between Regina and the children, her expression tightening slightly. "And these two are?" "My grandchildren," Regina responded with a smile. "We're going on vacation together." The woman hesitated, her brow furrowing. She typed something into her computer and then looked up again, a hint of doubt in her eyes. "I just need to confirm. Are you traveling with the parents' permission?" Regina's jaw tightened for a brief moment, though her outward expression remained neutral. It wasn't the first time her relationship with her grandchildren had been questioned. She opened her handbag and produced the necessary documents, including travel permissions and birth certificates. "Everything is here," she said, maintaining her composure. The agent examined the documents carefully, her expression unreadable. After a long pause, she forced a smile. "Thank you for your patience. I'll just need to call security for a routine check." Regina raised an eyebrow but said nothing, though a knot formed in her stomach. "Grandma, is something wrong?" Olivia asked quietly, slipping her small hand into Regina's. "Not at all, sweetheart." Regina reassured her with a gentle squeeze of her hand, though she could feel the tension building. Within minutes, two stern-faced security officers approached. Regina greeted them with a polite nod, trying to defuse the situation. "Good afternoon. We need to ask you a few questions about your travel plans," one of the officers said curtly. "Of course," Regina replied evenly, though she could sense the suspicion in their voices. The officer's gaze shifted to Olivia and Ethan. "These kids, they're traveling with you?" "Yes," Regina answered, her grip on their hands tightening protectively. "They're my grandchildren." The officers exchanged a glance, their expressions hard to read. The taller one finally spoke. "We're going to need you to step aside for additional screening." Regina remained composed, though she could feel the children's anxiety growing. "Is there a problem, officer?" "Just routine," he replied with a shrug. "We need to confirm everything checks out." As they were escorted to a secondary screening area, Regina whispered to Olivia and Ethan, "Everything is going to be fine. Just stay close to me." The screening process stretched on, with officers meticulously examining their documents and making calls. Regina's patience wore thin, but she remained calm for the children's sake. Then, one officer delivered the words that made Regina's stomach drop. "We're going to need to involve the police." Olivia's grip on Regina's hand tightened. "The police? But we didn't do anything wrong." Regina knelt down, pulling the children into a comforting hug. "It's going to be okay," she murmured. I'm right here with you. Within moments, two uniformed police officers arrived. Their demeanor was firm and unyielding. Regina's years of experience told her the situation had escalated far beyond what was necessary. "Ma'am, we need to ask you some additional questions," one of the officers said. Regina responded, her tone calm but resolute. "I've already provided all the necessary documentation. These are my grandchildren, and we're traveling together for a family vacation." Despite her explanation, the officers remained skeptical. "We'll need to confirm that with their parents," one officer stated. Regina handed over her daughter's phone number, but the officers continued their inquiries with an air of distrust. The surrounding travelers watched the scene unfold, some murmuring among themselves, others filming on their phones. When Regina was asked to turn around so they could place her in handcuffs, Olivia and Ethan cried out in protest. "Leave her alone. That's our grandma," Ethan shouted, tears streaming down his face. Regina's heart ached, but she forced herself to remain composed. "It's okay, kids," she said, her voice steady. "I'll be back soon." As she was led away, the children's cries echoed in her ears. She knew she had to stay strong, for herself and for them. At the police station, Regina's status as a federal judge was initially dismissed as a fabrication. The interrogating officer smirked as she calmly reiterated her position and demanded to contact her attorney. When her lawyer, Marcus Green, arrived, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. Marcus quickly established her identity and highlighted the officer's grave mistake. "You detained a federal judge without cause and subjected her to baseless humiliation," Marcus said firmly. "This will not go unaddressed." Regina was released with apologies, but the damage was done. Determined to turn her ordeal into a call for change, she worked with Marcus to file formal complaints and pursue legal action. The incident garnered national attention, sparking widespread discussions about racial profiling and systemic reform. Rallies and marches followed, with Regina's story inspiring others to share their own experiences. As reforms began to take shape, Regina knew the road ahead would be long and arduous. But with her grandchildren's love and the support of her community, she vowed to continue fighting for justice and equality, not just for herself, but for everyone. "We march not just for me," she said at a rally, "but for every person who has been judged unfairly. Together, we can and will create a better future." Thank you for reading this story. If you found it compelling, don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring content. Let us know your thoughts and where you're tuning in from in the comments.